Hello, so this video is to reflect on my second semester for my practicum. Just as a refresher, I've been working for behavior management systems in a clinical position with severe and persistently mentally ill folks, mostly doing individual, but some groups and some organizational work. I was able to work on several of the different competencies, including 3, 7, and 10.1, especially as I was working on assessments. I've done dozens of more assessments this semester, and I think that's probably one of the areas that I've grown the most in strength. I feel like I've gotten a pretty good grasp of how to do an assessment, get the information I need in a timely manner, and try to not overlook anything while also engaging with the client. I've also gotten to practice 1 and 10.2 just in my work with clients, especially as now that I've been here in this position for almost a year, I'm having to terminate some clients and facilitate them back to their case manager or to other services instead of individual therapy. So I've gotten to practice more of the kind of wrapping up of therapy services and reflection. So I've enjoyed that. I've also gotten to practice doing some screenings, and I think that's helped me learn a little bit more about competency 4. Just we never quite know who's going to walk through our doors and ask for some assistance, so it's been good to get to know how to refer people outside if our services aren't the best fit for them. I've also been able to work on a lot of more organizational aspects during this practicum, which I appreciated. I have been working on the Zero Suicide implementation team, so that helped me with competency 8 as I was kind of responding to this high need in the community and what our organization can support, and trying to find, with my team members of course, what is going to work the best for instituting this new program. I've learned a lot just from working with my team, and that's kind of competency 1. I've been able to get to know the clinical team better, get a little more used to leaning on them for some supervision or consultation, and also doing some mentoring because we have a couple newer clinicians who I've been able to show about our electronic health record. And before I worked at behavior management, I was pretty used to working on my own, and so I've definitely learned a lot about teamwork and knowing how to access the resources that we have on our team. It's been really interesting for me to continue to work on our dialectical behavior therapy team. I transitioned this year from being primarily a skills coach to an individual therapist, and it's a pretty challenging group of clients, and so I've learned a lot from them, and I've learned a lot through our program as well. I've gotten to kind of practice competency 6 as the state is requiring us to kind of keep some data, some research about what we're doing, just to report back, and trying to find a way to collect some information without burdening our team too much has been a helpful experience. Previously, my background was mostly in research, and so it was always really easy to collect data because that was the whole point of what we were doing. So now finding ways to collect data in a more practical or clinical setting is a good challenge for me. I also kind of got some cool experiences this year, not directly through my practicum, but my practicum allowed me the time off to, for instance, go to Legislative Day at the Capitol, where I worked on competency 8, and I was then able to talk about my experiences with my supervisor and kind of pull it back to our agency and our area, and also the state in general, and just kind of tie everything together through that use of supervision. I think one of the things that I most learned about this semester was competency 9 and practicing my time management and self-care. Because in this position I have so much flexibility and freedom to set my own schedule and to kind of manage my clients as I have the discretion to. It means that sometimes I ended up overworking myself, and so it's been really helpful to get some coaching from my supervisor on how to make sure I'm taking breaks and kind of orienting my schedule to what fits my needs, not always just jumping at whatever would be most convenient for the client. So those are the main competencies that I focused on, although I think I got quite a bit out of most of them. I feel like I've improved a lot this semester just in going from knowing about things to practicing them more regularly, being able to make it a habit or a routine to do several of the things that I was aiming to do, like being consistent with my assessments, being able to develop rapport and engagement with my clients and make sure I'm referring them to the best services or facilitating those services myself. So, thanks for listening.